I'm going to share something radically different today. Have respect for anger. That's my topic today. Have respect and admiration for anger. What does that even mean? Here's a shocking thing. A lot of people all over the world, the therapists and the intellectuals and the neuroscientists and the people who are really smart, all of them talk about, oh my gosh, I was angry and I went for this and I did this and I need to handle my anger. But reality, I'm going to talk about a different outlook about anger today. Here's a shocking thing. If you don't know how to handle this thing called anger effectively, then your chances of growing your business to the next level, your career to the next level, your life to the next level is diminished. And the way we handle anger is radically different than how anybody else will handle anger. So tune in and stay till the end of the video. I'll be talking about a very, very unique step where you could actually use anger as a tool for self-transformation and business transformation. So hang in there. So with that, so what are we talking about here? So there is this famous quote from Aristotle. It says, I'm paraphrasing, anybody can get angry anytime. But emotional balance is being able to get angry at the right person, at the right time, at the right quantity, in the right context. So do you see that? Right person, right time, right quantity, in the right context. That's what emotional balance is. So think about it. People say, oh, he's an angry person. But reality, most of the time, anger might be a representation of another emotion. What does that even mean? It means it could be passion behind the scene. You're so passionate about things. And then every time you try to express yourself, you don't have the habit of expressing yourself. And because you didn't have this habit of expressing yourself, the anger kind of filters through other things and, passion kind of filters through other things and convert into anger. Pay attention to this very carefully, right? Pay attention to this very carefully. It's very simple, but it's very deep. It could actually transform the way you look at emotions, okay? So you have passion and you are so much passionate, but you have these filters in front of you. And once you filter this passion with whatever filter you have, then it converts into anger because people start perceiving it as anger. And when people start perceiving it as anger, their interpretation of you changes to what? Changes to, hey, Ruble is an angry person. Does that make sense? And now you started believing I'm an angry person, and then you become an angry person. Isn't it fascinating? Right? So essentially you are a passionate person, but you are misinterpreted. And why are you converting this passion into anger? Because somebody, maybe your dad, mom, sister, cousin, teacher, whoever, did not teach you or gave you a wrong role model or an alternate role model, wrong might be the wrong word, an alternate role model for converting passion to anger. The way this significant person in your life spoke was by converting passion into anger. And then you just modeled it. And that's what you know. And then you're familiar with that. And that's what you're doing. Now you will like, okay, how does that help my business? The way it helps your business is, the more aligned you are, the more successful your business is. The more you could do in your life, the more momentum your business has. When you are angry and staying in anger, you are losing alignment. And if you don't want to lose that alignment, like listen to the rest of the video and I'll show you exactly what to do to manage that. That's one way to look at it, okay? Let me give you another way. Let me give you an example from my own life. Early 30s, US, I'm in a Walmart long time ago. My kids are like 3 and 1.5 or 2 and 3.5. And I am at this checkout trying to get out of Walmart, finish all the stuff, and since they live in this country in US, and if you're listening to this from other countries, I live in the US, and then since I live in the US and the kids are in this internal, I lived in an apartment at the time, and then kids are like, okay, they don't get to go outside a lot, and then when they go outside, that's their celebration. So one of my children is like rolling. I mean, I know of course they're not rolling completely, but they are. One of them is in the floor. Another one is like throwing stuff, and like it's quite a scene. right? Now, if there was nobody in that store, I would probably, okay, it's just me and everybody else is like taken off and it's just me and the kids doing stuff. I'm like, who cares? It's okay. Let them do it. That's what most of us will think. There could be some other people who will be like, oh no, they have to be so much disciplined all the time. But I'm not like that. Okay. But in this case, there are a few people. There were like 2 people in front of me. There were like few people behind me. Now they are all looking at me. They're like, oh, what is going on here? Like, what is this guy? Like, he seemed to be a grown-ass man, but he's not able to control and manage his kids. Immediately, I got angry at my kids. I told them, hey, come and stand here right now. All right, stand here right now behind the person. Drop the toy, like whatever. Do you see that we do this drama as humans, right? And we do this drama to our own kids, not because we are mad at them, but we want to pretend in front of other people. I don't want to be feeling shameful. I don't want people to think that I'm not a masculine man, a strong man who cannot handle my kids. Oh my gosh. What if they think like that? These strangers, this strange white woman or a black woman or whoever, or another man standing next to me, whom I'm probably not going to see for the rest of my life. But these children, my own children, who came from my own blood, my own life, people that I would give anything, even my life for, I get mad at them. Why? Because I don't want to be shameful in front of another person. Do you see how fascinating our life is? So now you saw anger from 2 angles. One angle is passion converted into anger. Another angle is shame converted into anger. Not an angle, but anchor. Okay. This could be anything. So think about it this way. Whenever you're getting angry, please pay attention. You're not feeling angry. Almost most of all the time, you're not feeling angry. You're feeling another emotion and you are reinterpreting this emotion as anger. You're reinterpreting, or somebody is reinterpreting for you, or you learn how to interpret it as anger from your dad, from your significant others, from whoever was your caretaker or whoever influenced you the most. Does that make sense? So what does that mean? It means that we all of this time, we thought we were feeling angry, but we were really not feeling angry. We were feeling overwhelmed or passionate or shame or guilt, and we don't want to show that emotion to the world. I don't want to show my guilt. I don't want to show my shame to the people, like 1,000 people in my mind, 1,000 people around me in Walmart. Make sense? So I pretend to get angry. And I don't even know that. It took me 10 years for me to realize this is what I was doing 10 years ago. Obviously, I'm thinking about this stuff too much. Okay, so how do you handle this? How do you handle this? So first step is embrace anger. We don't embrace violence, we embrace anger. So I want you to differentiate that. If your anger is getting to a point where you are emotionally or physically hurting people, then we need to work on it, right? We need to work on, figure it out, handle it. But the anger that you occasionally feel and you don't destroy a building or you don't put houses on fire, if that's the case, embrace that. Embrace that as a gift from your upbringing. And this is not to enable you, but to empower you. You feel good that, you know what, I get angry. Okay, good. But what can I learn from this? Oftentimes there is a message inside of anger. Oftentimes, all of the emotions that we are feeling has an intelligence to it. There's an intelligence to it. So we find that intelligence by looking for the message inside of anger. So you look for a specific message inside of anger. What do you do next? What you do next is come back to joy. And literally I mean come back to joy. And why do I say come back to joy? The reason is, as a species, as a human, you are here to be joyful. You came here joyful. Anything that you are feeling otherwise is just not normal. It sounds so weird because we feel joy rarely, most people. And because we feel joy rarely, we feel that that's abnormal. Because we feel anger, and then we feel depressed, and then we feel anxious, then we feel like jealous, and then we feel envy, then we feel shame. we forgot that our original emotion is joy. Our original emotion is joy. We came to this planet as pure joy. When you were a kid, when you're like 6 months old and you're like, Mama, give me breast milk or I'm gonna kill you. Anger. Oh, Mama, no, this is too much for me. Agony. Mama, I cannot live this life without breast milk. Sadness. You didn't do any of that. You probably like cried a little bit physically, a slight level of sadness or slight level of a sound. You express yourself to be fed. And then we developed advanced complex emotions that are not helping us. And then we call and we think this is who we are. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I am anxious. Think about it. When I say I'm anxious, what am I saying? So it's very similar to what I'm saying. I'm Ruble. I'm Ruble. I am a noun. And then I'm saying I am anxious. I am another noun. So it became a representation of the schema of me. Anxious. I am depressed. I am failure. Right? Look at that. This has so much emotional impact on us. And then we forget that we are pure joy. And I know there are like thousands and thousands of books written about how to be happy and how to be joyful and stuff like that. And you are coming and telling me, you like Indian guy with a little bit hair and glasses are telling me that I could just go back to joy. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm telling you. Because that's how you came to this world. This is not me trying to prove a point. If you're trying to look, you could look at your life. Most majority of people, when they were young, when they were a child, when they were a baby, they were happy. But they unlearned happiness. Because imagine this. Imagine like right now, like coronavirus is a big deal. Like 18 months, 19 months, you stayed out of your home for a long time, 19 months. And then you were in a hotel for a long time. Let's say one of my friends actually was in a hotel for this entire coronavirus period. And she stayed in that hotel for like 18 months. And imagine she goes back to her home feels foreign to her. Sometimes, right? I mean, some people will feel, oh, I'm back home, yes. But she's more familiar with the hotel because everything is close by, everything is good, and that's what she's. And what if you stayed out of your home for 20, 30, 40, 50 years or 60 years? What happens then? That's what happened to us. We went out of joy and we lost our joy. We lost our joy and we were staying in anger, the house of anger. We still had the original house, the fact that we are alive, but we stayed in anxiety, we stayed in depression, we stayed in all kind of other things except for joy. And when joy come back to us, when we start to feel a spark of joy, we feel like that is foreign to us. We feel like we don't belong there. And then we come back to anger and stay in there. It's a fascinating world that we have created for ourselves. So in conclusion, what do? First of all, the reason why we are staying angry, we are staying depressed, is because I'm going to focus on anger today. Depression has a little bit of more complexity to it, and we'll talk about that later. And even like as you could see, there are like so much depth into all of the things that we are discussing here. There's so much neuroscience and psychology behind it. But the simple metaphor is the following. Imagine the schema of your body, your mind, your soul to be a pond, a calm pond. Emotions are the sparks, the spikes. If you drop a stone into this pond, the water will splash. And if it's a good stone, supposedly good stone, something that makes you feel good, then the splash is good. Something that is triggering you about something bad in your life, then that splash is going to be negative and supposedly negative, right? And we call this, oh, there are negative emotions, good emotions, right? And what happens is whenever there is a splash, your body is losing its rhythm. Your brain is losing its rhythm. It's basically having an issue with the rhythm, just like the pond, right? So when that rhythm is gone, we need to come back to that rhythm. And imagine we were out of this rhythm for a long time, just like the house metaphor that we talked about. Then we don't know what is a normal rhythm. You don't know what's our normal. We know that 72 is our heartbeat per minute. We know certain things about ourselves, right? But we don't know the rhythm of our own mental state. So I'm actually sharing this back to you. Something that I discovered in my own life is that ultimately you are here to be joyful. And the reason why we lost our joy is because we stayed in the splash for a long time, right? So it's time for us to come back to that. And when you come back to that, then your business is going to be dramatically changing. Your business is going to take you to a completely different level. Your life is going to transform to a different level. Your career is going to take off to a next level. Why? Because now you are in alignment. You are in harmony with the universe. Because now you're not fighting. You're not fighting with anger anymore. You have respect for anger. You have admiration for anger. If you venture to go to the next level, then you could be grateful for anger, because it is because of anger that we had social reforms. It's because of anger that we had major changes in life. It's because of anger, somebody got angry, that we have some major things happen in the world. Major transformation happened in the world. Major revolution happened in the world. Why? Because one person or a group of people were angry. And they were able to transmute that anger into a peaceful protest or peaceful movement that took care of the social menace at the time. So if you look at it, anger is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful gift that Creator has given us. Let's use that as a tool to grow our business, grow our life, and grow our career to the next level. That's my video for today. And now, I talk about this a lot in my book, 90 Days to Life. A lot about emotions, kind of uncrack the code about emotions that any person can, with 5th grade level understanding about life or business, or people who can read at 5th grade level can understand it. So 90 Days Life was an international bestseller in 2019, and it's getting released in different languages. If you want to get the English book for that, anywhere in the world, if you're listening to me from India, it's getting released in India soon. From the US or Europe or any other countries, if you're listening to, you could actually get my book using the link below, and you could use that, enjoy the book, and learn about emotions so that you could take your business, your life to the next level. Until then, I'll talk to you soon. If you have any questions, put that in the comment. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Good luck. Talk to you soon.